what's up, Scott Walker with Imagination Creation Films, and today we're talking about Mutiny and all of these cables and extensions, adapters and expanders and triggers and protectors and, well, these little cuties. QDs. So before we get started, a little housekeeping. Mutiny did send a bit of this stuff for me to review, although some of it I did purchase with my own money. And aside from the cables I purchased myself, no money has changed hands. And Mutiny has no say whatsoever in the review, so you can rest assured that you'll get the same old fair, lovable, honest review as always. So if the thought of wildlife chewing bubblegum makes you laugh, subscribe. So there's a bunch of accessories I'm going to be talking about here today, but there's one that to many of you will be the most important one to consider, and that's the true 12G Isolator. And let's chat about that one first. Now, I've been a big advocate about getting people into the right process when dealing with 12G SDI on all cameras. I put out the How Not to Fry Your SDI video, and I've stated there's been no proof that the galvanic isolators work. And it's based upon many conversations I've had with many engineers. And I've been very adamant that there isn't anything you can do except learn the process for protecting your SDI port from damage. Until now. Mutiny has collaborated with Freakshow HD to create a multi-level SDI protection device that even I have to admit, it works. Let me explain. This device has two levels of protection in it, a primary and a backup. Now, the primary is the isolation circuit. It operates with the single flip of a switch. Flip it to signal, and the SDI cable is electronically connected in a pass-through, and, well, the red LED on the side lets you know that it's in the signal position, and to remind you, don't disconnect your SDI. Now, flip the switch to ISO, which I assume stands for I so wanted a device like this before. Actually, I think it stands for isolation. What it does is electronically disconnects the positive side on the SDI cable while leaving the grounds connected. Now, the red LED goes out when it's safely isolated, and you can now disconnect your battery. But first, turn off your devices because, we're good people and we don't want to run that risk of corrupting some files or anything like that. And now, swap your battery. Now, when you replace your battery, turn on your camera and turn on your monitor. And then once everything is powered up, then you can switch the switch to signal. No need to disconnect SDI cables anymore. Now, I know you may be thinking, oh, yay, it's an expensive switch. That was just level 1. Level 2 is a protection chipset that prevents electrostatic discharge from entering the SDI line driver. So if you forget to flip the switch, level 2 would likely catch the voltage spike. I say likely because, well, everything has a limit. Obviously, if you plug the DC into 120 volt AC outlet or 240 volt AC for you folks overseas, or let it get struck by lightning, that little circuit in here, it is not going to absorb that. But almost anything that we'd be using on set is going to get captured and it's going to get damage prevented. Now, when a level 2 catches and prevents a surge from hitting your camera, the unit will have to be repaired, the isolator itself. Now, currently Mutiny charges $75 for an advanced exchange repair, but that's a quick turnaround, so you don't have to wait for weeks for it to come into stock or anything like that. Now, during that repair time, just follow the LIFO rule, last in, first out. Follow that extremely carefully with your new sense of reality that it actually can happen to you. Also, Mutiny does ask that you follow the LIFO rule on the beginning and the end of the day. So when you first start up, follow the last in, first out rule. And at the end of the day, first out. It's just best practice. Now, I've played with this quite a bit, and I've chatted with Mutiny several times, making sure that, well, it's actually going to work. And quite honestly, I am convinced that this is your best protection outside of LiFo. Now, to install it, you'll need a cable set with power and SDI. Connect your monitor, EVF, or wireless SDI and the power to the camera side, and then the power and the SDI to the camera side. Mount it wherever it's convenient and get back to work. Let's talk about the other accessories Mutiny has been making. Well, first, cables. If you've been living under a rock for the last couple of years, you may not know that Mutiny makes a ton of extremely high quality cables in a variety of configurations and colors, and you can look now as neat and cool as you work. Now, they're available in normal stock configurations and colors, and then also made with custom links and cable types and connectors and colors. Now, these are the official, not Balkan Blue, 550 paracord color braided cables, and they're actually a really pretty blue. And I have some custom length cables that work best in my configurations. Now, their power connections are available in LEMO or standard DTAP, or using SafeTap V4 connectors, which protect against over and under voltage, polarity, deep discharge, and short circuit protection as well. It's just another level of protection for your gear. And they work quite simply. Just open up your connector, pop in your power, and it will light up green when you're good with your power. Just a little extra protection. Now, this is a great little low-profile, true 12G extension cable. It's great for being able to disconnect SDI from a Komodo that's, say, installed in a tight area. I use it, quite a lot when I use the Kessler robot, because it gives me a ton of clearance in the back because it's not a cable sticking straight out. They also make a house power extension at an angle, and I use that for the exact same reason. Also, another great feature of many of their angle LEMO connectors is that they're user adjustable for key position. You can loosen this with a special tool that they provide, and there are 8 different angles you can change the key to. It's perfect for tightening up that build, like here when I have the cables coming off at a slight angle, and up here where I want it in the right direction to keep it easy. Now, speaking of this, let's talk about breakouts. They have a variety of breakout options for Komodo, KomodoX, and V-Raptor. My favorite is this little guy right here. This is the Nano. It gives you a Fisher 3 trigger. It gives you a 4-pin control, a 5-pin time code and gen lock, and then the 9-pin that goes out to the back. Now, the Nano Plus, which is not this one, this is the regular Nano, gives you an additional 9-pin extension as well, so you can continue that chain on. Now, they have designed a variety of, optional mounting options for it. There's a flat option right here, which has screw holes, and then you just click it in. If you want to put it in, you just pop it into the little thing and it locks in place. And so this one is the 90 degree. This is the flat. Then they have one that if you're using BP batteries in the back, it uses the BP battery. So you just slip it in one of your BP slots. And they also have a 15 millimeter rod version as well. So you can mount the Nano wherever you want to tuck it. And it's quite literally the smallest breakout on the planet. Now, lastly, I want to talk about these little QD mounts. These are cute. They're right here. These are quick disconnect mounts for straps, and they are metal and they are absolutely sturdy. Just pushing the button, it unlocks, push it back in, and it locks in place. Really, really sturdy. And it's great to just be able to put straps anywhere. I don't have the strap on here because it was actually in the way. But it's a great way to mount straps and remove them quickly for fast versatility and carrying options. So what are the pros and cons? Well, there's a ton talked about here. As far as the cables, there are no cons. You get what you pay for, and you get extremely well-built cables. The QDs, they come in a flat and a curved. The only con to these really is finding screw holes that line up with the two that you see here. So this is where it connects in, and then there's a 1/4-20 on either side. And this spacing, it can be difficult to find things that line up with it. It looks like GDU and Bright Tangerine's ribs both line up. The Tilta did not, so be aware of that. Now the Nano Breakout, the pros are pretty obvious. It's tiny. The cons are just reality. Even as small as it is, sometimes you can't really find the perfect spot for it, but you're likely to get close. Now, the 12G Isolator Pros, it works. There's 2 levels of protection, and it's fairly compact. Cons? The price, well, it can be that hard pill to swallow. But think about the pros and the cost of being without a camera for a couple of weeks while your Komodo gets repaired, or your Sony Venice, or what have you. Then there's the cost of the camera repair itself. In the end, the isolator and the cable set, it's kind of a bargain. So what do you think about all this? I mean, they have a ton of other stuff with their battery plates, expanders, and so much more. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think, because I honestly would love to know your thoughts on all this stuff, especially this isolator. It literally is the first time I said, oh, yeah, that will actually work. If you want to purchase any of this, head to their website. It's mutiny.store. There's no affiliate or anything. Just go and get the stuff you need and enjoy life. Remember to like, subscribe, and support the channel by purchasing through any of the affiliate links below, other than the Mutiny stuff, which you just purchase through mutiny.store. And, if you really want to stand out, you can become a channel member. It allows you to be part of the Cool Kids Club, just like these top-tier members. Wherever this hand is. And as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions.